Astara, Edmonds, and I am a psychic, clairvoyant, clairaudient, intuitive. And I am coming here today to speak to you about our awakening process, which is all part of our intuitive growth. And I want to start, I really want to thank you for being here. Because in order for you to be here, you had to follow some kind of hunch, some kind of inner calling, some type of desire to be here in this moment, sitting here, bringing your light and your love and your heart to this whole group, this matrix. And you are what makes this happen. So I want to commend you for the listening and the effort, because I know some of you drove a ways to be here. And it takes the logistics to get yourself organized and up and here. So thank you for that, because each and every one of you carries a light and an essence and a significance that really makes this circle happen. And what I share with you today, while I have some things that I know I want to say, there are a lot of things that I've left open because Spirit will speak through me. It's much like doing a reading when I get activated or triggered by your vibration and what you're carrying to bring the message through to you that's pertinent to you, that's most valuable to you. So we're collectively creating this experience. Go ahead and close that. It's okay. Yeah, those chairs are open over there, right? Okay, I think there's 2 or 3 there. We get squeezed in here. It works. Oh, nice. So, the name of my talk is Awakening Our Awareness. And I also want to kind of give it a subtitle today, because we're in the summer solstice. It was exact yesterday, but we're in the window of this particular Stargate. And the solstices and the equinoxes are very powerful times a year because of the Stargate that they are, our proximity to the great central sun, how we are as a planet in the cosmos. And the easiest way that I interpret it is that we have a tremendous infusion of light that is coming into this planet at this time. We are in an accelerated process of bringing in light in general, just based on where we are in the cosmos. But this weekend is really significant because it's so heart-centered. So I've been guided to call it the Stargate of the Heart. And I know from the way Spirit has been preparing me for our group experience here, is that I've been feeling a lot of downloads of energy personally that brings in a certain kind of vibration for me personally, but also for what I share with you. And I know that everyone here is going to receive some type of activation. So it's a very powerful moment of opening and allowing. And when I say allowing, it's like being able to say yes to the changes that are coming in on an energy level, on a vibrational level, so you can feel safe in it, and you can feel comfortable in it, and you give yourself permission to allow these infusions of light. You're fine. We're just all kind of mixing in here together. Now, just for clarification, what other seats are open? In the back?
There's a couple back.
2 or 3, and over here? Okay. So my door monitor to notice that. Come on in. People will direct you. There's some chairs over there in the back. Yeah. Once those are full, then we'll start working on the floor. So it all works. So I want to begin in speaking about the psychic side. First of all, just to let you know, I've been working with people on a holistic level for 27 years. I came in as a rather sensitive child, thinking that a lot of my awareness was common sense and common to everybody until I realized it wasn't. And I had my struggles as a young person dealing with the emotional sensitivity that comes with perception, psychic perception. But I've learned through time and over the years to work with techniques and work with things that have guided me to be more grounded and anchored and ability to clear. And that's really what I'm wanting to share, because with all of you going through whatever level of awareness expansion that you're going through, whether you're new to waking up on a psychic level or you're advanced, the process is the same. So that when you learn to clear and to ground and to balance your energy, it makes it easier to trust that process of opening up. When we open up, if you think of yourself as being like a container, and your container, your vessel, is a certain size, and you go through this expansion process that allows that psychic center and also the emotional body, because they're very closely woven together, to expand, to become a bigger container. When you are a bigger container, you have the ability to bring in more data, to bring in more information. And when that is coming in, that's when sometimes you have those sensations of being a little out of sorts or overwhelmed or tired or moody or a little sensitive, because you haven't integrated it yet. You're starting to perceive the energy and the dynamics that are going on with people in the world around you at a higher level. So if you trust the process, that it's okay, even when the process at times isn't comfortable, if you trust that it's okay, that it ultimately is empowering you, then you're going to be non-resistant. You're going to be able to go with the flow. And you'll be able to say yes and to allow these energies to be transformational for you. What happens when we grow on a psychic level and we're able to perceive more, it opens our hearts. It gives us an opportunity to have more empathy for people around us, for the world around us. It activates our compassion to have a greater understanding. The entire planet is going through an awakening process, all on various levels. So there is a growth that is happening with humanity in general that's taking all of us to a higher level of experiencing life and experiencing more truth. One of the things that happens with personal expansion is that you start to question, you start to ask questions, you start to wonder about things. You look at your philosophies or your religions or your ideology or whatever it may be, and you start to ask questions that allows you to think outside of the framework that's familiar to you and what you've known. And that is all a part of increasing your perception and your ability to bring in and to understand data that's coming in, the informational side. There's room up here on the floor if you would like to sit. Up here. 2 chairs there. Just be comfortable. We're just all one big living room here. So one of the things that I want to mention with this process is some of the symptoms of this type of expansion, because the psychic body, the psychic side, that sense that's within us, it's common to all of us, like eyesight and hearing and taste and sound, everything that is a sense. The psychic side is a sense. When you have a download of information coming in, it's easy to go into that moody place or feel that disconnection. So I want to mention some things that are going to facilitate you in opening and trusting that process. And they're really very basic and they're very simple, but one of them is hydration. It's water. The significance of really letting your body work through the fluids. You know, we need that in our body. To be able to rest when you feel called to rest. To meditate, which is a place of quietness. So you can quiet your mind and you can quiet your body. To allow yourself to have some experience with nature. To me, nature is just one of the most profound and wonderful tuning forks. When you can be out walking on a lawn or looking at the trees or the flowers or the bugs or the bees, or at night to hear the cicadas or the crickets or the frogs or whatever it may be, it's like having tuning forks working with your body. And it makes a difference when you're balancing a lot of energy that you're processing so that you can continue to open and you don't shut it down. What happens when you shut it down, and it happens quite often with young people, when it's overwhelming and you don't have the techniques for clearing and grounding, that's when you can pad the body. You can create these barriers. Sometimes it's literally in weight gain that allows that protection around your psychic centers, the solar plexus being a very significant psychic center, as well as the third eye. So that what I'm suggesting is that if any of you, and I know that there's a few in this room that have gone through that kind of a process, that it's okay at this stage of the game in your life to let down those barriers and to know that the world doesn't have to hurt you. And I'm not suggesting that the world is perfect, because we know it isn't, in terms of the types of energies that we deal with. You know, we do have pain and suffering on the planet, but it's about how do we expand ourselves and how do we manage the energy that goes through our bodies so that we can stay open, perceptive, loving, available, and not get caught up into some of the lower vibrations. So one of the things I'd like to do is, right now, is do a clearing technique. This is really very easy. I learned this a long time ago, and it's really made a difference in my life. It's an internal process. You can do it anytime. You can be in the car. You can be driving. You can be in the grocery store. It doesn't matter. But what you do basically is, it's like, let's say you feel a little overwhelmed by something. It could be a friend that you just talked to and you just feel like you're carrying your burden or the heaviness of something that has taken place. You simply say, I release and let go all unbalanced energy. I release it to divine light. You can change the words to suit you, but basically, I release and let go all unbalanced energy to the divine light. And what happens is you begin to manage the energy that you are subjected to physically. This is energy management. And when you do something like this, you're not judging the energy as bad or wrong. The energy is energy. So this removes the judgment. It may be energy you don't care for, but I really want to reiterate that if you look at the energy as somewhat neutral and not judge it, then it goes, it just balances, it moves, and you're not adding that kind of vibration to yourself that's a judgmental vibration. It really works once you begin to work with this kind of technique. You're going to teach yourself how effective it is. It has a way of, if you're in a place where you're feeling uncomfortable and you work with a technique like this, then you feel better. You feel like, okay, I can handle this. I can go in that direction. I can be with that person instead of having to feel like you are overwhelmed and powerless. The energy management side of this is about how you access your personal power around this. The other thing that I find is very valuable is how we utilize earth energy. And grounding is about earth energy. It's about this living being that we are living on and walking on, this Mother Earth. So let's do a little technique right now. I'll do the clearing one first, and it can be an internal thing for you. But we're going to do some grounding. So feet on the ground as much as you can, so you're uncrossed. That lets the energy move and circulate well. And if you're inclined, if you feel that you want to stand, you can. You can do that too. But it's going to work with you sitting however you're comfortable. That's the main thing. So with this grounding technique, close your eyes first for this aspect, but just let yourself place your energy on your feet and really feel the breath. Let yourself breathe in and breathe out, placing your focus of attention on your feet. And then you extend the energy from your feet, just like the roots of a tree, all the way down into the earth. And let yourself breathe this energy so that with your in-breath, you bring the earth energy in through these roots, through your feet, and up into your body, through your legs, through your chakra system, the first and second chakras, third and fourth, all the way up to your crown chakra. Bring it back now with your breath, all the way down to your feet, and just feel that communion that you have with the Mother Earth. Feel how the Mother Earth is supporting you and your path. And with your breath and that anchoring and that knowledge, just open your eyes again. Bring yourself back to this outer experience. It doesn't diminish or take away anything that's happening on a psychic level with the intuitive side of us that's expanding. It links it all together so that you may be bringing in very high vibrations into your body, but you're also connecting on purpose with the earth as a living being that's supporting you and feeling that connection in your physical body. Can you feel a difference in yourself just in that little experience sitting in the chair in this room? You know, just that little bit. And the more you work with that, the more you work with any kind of clearing, the more you identify with that process, so it belongs to you. You can own it. The other thing with all of this that I want to encourage all of you with is how to really, really nurture and nourish your body. So that while you are dealing with expanded energies on a psychic level, you're also taking care of the physical form, your body, which is it's the house that you're living in. Your spirit is walking around in this container. So this is it's an important time to make sure that what you're feeding and fueling your body is going to sustain it. It's going to be optimal. It's going to give you the stamina and the energy and the immune system and all of that. All of these things you know. I'm more of a reminder of this so that you identify with your physical fortitude. It allows for you, for one thing, to be more self-loving, which is all part of this expansion. And it allows for you to trust the process of everything that you are growing through as you're changing and transforming in your life. Whatever challenges may come in, it makes it easier to move through the process of it with you taking care of the physical form, the physical body. I want to speak about meditation and the value of meditation, because the stillness of the mind, when you're able to be quiet and still and in a place of listening, which is what meditation is all about. It's a state of listening. There's something that is so significant that recharges the batteries for all of us when we can be still enough to listen to spirit. We can get out of our own way. You can think about things later. And some of us, have gone through our trials of quieting the busy mind. But when you think about meditation, it can happen in many forms. It can be a formal one, it can be a guided one. We're going to do one together later that will be a guided one. But it could be when you're cooking, or you're driving, or you're cleaning, or you're ironing, or you're gardening, or you're fishing, or whatever it may be. This just puts you in that relaxed, quiet space and allows for spirit to speak to you. It allows for our angels and our guides to get through to us on different levels when we're open to listening to what the communications are. How many of you, just a little barometer here, how many of you meditate on any level, formal or a little? Oh, excellent. Oh, that's really good. It's really reassuring too, because, well, of course, we're in this kind of event that would bring in the meditators, of course, but it's really commendable because you've learned something and you can share that with somebody else who hasn't learned that yet. And that's what it's all about. It's how we share our truth with each other. How many of you communicate on a knowing level with your spirit guides or your angels or ascended masters? I'm pretty sure most of you know that they're there, but really feel like, yeah, I'm getting messages, I'm talking, I'm communicating. That's a really high percentage. That's good. That's good. When we gather in a circle like this, and we're bringing ourselves, our light, our love, and our heart to this particular moment, it's not just us that are here physically sitting in these chairs. We have our guides, and we have our masters, and we have our departed ones, and we have angels that are on layers and layers and layers, and Well, one thing about having a certain amount of vision, you can get to see some of these things that are happening. It's like, oh my goodness, it's really crowded. Yeah, well, it is. It's just dimensionally crowded in a good way. So what you learn and what you bring and what you share from your human experience goes that direction too. And I use that because in this dimension here, we still think of it as up. But what we're really doing is we are communicating to our beloveds, our angels, our masters, our people on the other side of the veil who are gaining something from our experience in the human body. Does that make sense? So it's an interactive connection. And part of this is to reinforce that. Okay. Yes.
What are they gaining through our human body?
Well, for those that might not have heard that, what are they gaining through our human body? There would be so many different scenarios for that. I'm sure that the answer to that is very broad. But I would say that from my experience of it, is that when certain guides are coming in, some of them have not been incarnated before, or some of them may be still learning some kind of lesson that's connected to a lifetime that they've lived, that when they are interfaced or observing or guiding in some kind of a way with us individually, they learn and they benefit. It's not like just learning when we're in a human body. It's learning on various levels of dimensions. So and that's a good question, because we forget when we're in a human body that we're connected to the cosmos. But we are. We're all star seeds. We've all come here on purpose. We've all come to be in this lifetime at this time for our personal growth, for the experience that the soul acquires. And many groups have come in together with agreements with each other, to meet each other, to interact with each other, to fortify ourselves as we are evolving a human race. The DNA is changing rapidly, and we are really bringing in a quickening and a new type of humanoid in a lot of ways with DNA activations. Part of our awakening is DNA activation, planned for, on purpose, divinely inspired. And that brings me to speaking to you about some of the children that are coming in. There's room on the floor up here if you want. And there's one seat over here. So the psychic children, the special children, and all children are special. Let me start with that. But I want to speak about young people who are coming in very aware and very awake. And they come in with a more advanced DNA structure. And they're part of the star seeding of advanced levels of the humanoid experience. Some of them you would know as indigos, some of them are crystal children. There's various names, blue ray. Some of them are autistic. And they come in very specialized. Before I say the next thing, let me just, with a show of hands, how many of you in this room have a child or a grandchild or a family member or a dear friend that you interact with one of these really highly specialized children? Wow, look at you. Just look around at each. This 25% of the room, maybe a third, which is very significant. So here's the thing with these children. Because they are so specialized, they are very sensitive in their physical bodies. They are aware. They often have memory of past life that they'll talk about. It's normal, it's natural. They have a physical anatomy that really needs to be taken care of in a very high level in terms of nutrition. They're sensitive to air quality. They're sensitive to chemicals, to additives, to dyes. They often have allergies or ear problems or some kind of digestion issues. They are often high-strung. They're often hyperactive. They have a lot of energy and they have a lot of awareness that they carry around in a little tiny container. They've got more energy than this little tiny container wants to hold. So some of the behavioral issues or the acting out issues is all of this high energy in this little container needing to do something. Unfortunately, at least in my opinion, unfortunately, a lot of them are medicated. They're labeled with ADD, ADHD, whatever you want to call that, that's a label for them. But they're really special, high beings, all of them. They're inventors. They think outside the box. They're designed to look at life and perceive life differently. We're the ones, as parents and teachers or grandparents, who are having to learn new strategies of teaching, new strategies of interacting with these incredible beings. So it's early, you know, we're still in the figuring that out, especially in school systems. These kids, you tell them, give them instruction, and they get it the first time. By the time the teacher is saying it the third or the fourth or the fifth time, they're out of there. They're bored to tears. They got it the first time, so then the behavioral issues come in. So some of it is how the systems and the teaching is changing or needs to change to accommodate these types of individuals. But there is something, not only with the food, the quality of food being really, really, really important, so that they're not subjected to the sugars and the junk foods and the preservatives and the additives and the dyes and all of that to the best of your ability, is being able to give them tasks that, on one hand, give them a place for their energy to go. That can be a sport, or it can be some type of activity that lets that charge. It's like a racehorse, you know, let the racehorse run. So you give the physical body a way to release energy. But these children can also learn to be quiet and to be still and have their version of a meditation. So their meditation just may be a timeout, a quiet time, not watching, you know, video games or getting too involved with technology, so that they learn how to be quiet. And I know that a lot of times these children will gravitate to quiet people or serene people or environments naturally, because they're needing that calming device to help them, because they're learning about this. And I know too that parents and grandparents can often feel a little bit confused or a little bit lonely sometimes in trying to figure out what to do. But the good news is, because there's so many of these children coming in, there's so many parents talking to each other, there's more groups or support groups or avenues of communication for so many now, that you can talk to each other and you can share your experiences with each other, so that you're helping each other learn what works and what doesn't work for raising these children, so that they're optimal, so they don't get drugged out and they don't get shut down, which can happen, but we want to elevate it. You know, we want these children to come in and succeed on their path of being these bright, incredible beings, that they're bringing what they're bringing to us, you know, on this planet. Is there anybody in this room that, just speaking about these children or this particular part of this topic, that has a question about that, just in case somebody's got something that I'm meant to address. Yeah.
Can you give a little idea to those that aren't dealing with this process right now, what you think the future generations of indigo children are here to accomplish?
Well, just from my personal experience of doing readings and working with mothers or grandmothers of these children, the word invention always comes up. They're really inventors. So they have this gift, and this is just one perspective, but they typically have this gift of being able to improvise, to create solutions to problems, because they're perceiving it differently, and they're bringing a different set of knowledge or talent to a given situation. I mean, I wish I had the name of this child, but it's like this young man, young teenager has created this invention. It's this device to clean up the ocean garbage, that floats out there. And it's like that type of inventor mind happens a lot with these children. And it's the way of the future, from the way I'm perceiving it, that so much of the answers and the new direction coming in are going to come in from the beings that are thinking differently. They have more memory, too, from their lives on this planet. So they're bringing a lot more information with them from other times as well. Okay?
He's not a child anymore, but he's about to turn 18. What do you do when you have a child that has been overlooked, taught that it's a disability, not getting help, and has so much potential, but he does not see it?
Some of it's patience, and it's like giving him feedback. Okay, so for anybody who may not have heard that, for someone who has been treated as though his psychic gift is a disability, so is not believing in it. Well, for one thing, you don't give up hope. Don't give up your input that is positive and exciting and that encourages, so that
right?
Yes,
but
they usually do.
But he just doesn't respond to positivity at all.
Yet. So that's why I say, don't give up hope. This is just a wee moment in this person's life. So you give the infusion of information that's going to inspire and encourage and bring excitement to it, so that something will click, something will register, where he'll be able to say, oh, this is a gift. This is not a disability at all. It is a gift. So that's very significant, and we're all learning how to interact with all the different levels that go with this. That's for sure. Okay, way in the back. No, you, yeah.
Well, I have a daughter. She's in her 20s now, and she's actually been told a couple of times that she was an indigo child, but she didn't understand. We probably both didn't understand. I always knew she was special, but she was always labeled trouble. But she's still not progressing. I guess she doesn't, how do you guide her to figure it out?
Do you know any other individuals personally that have that kind of gift? Because a lot of times when indigo children, whatever age they are around others like them, then they don't feel so left out or lonely or so different. But the thing about now is that we've got books and teachers and workshops and information that can give you a lot of detail that will help you know what to say or what to do to inspire this child. But for you too, it's about don't give up hope. These children come in to the parents and the grandparents and the people that are meant to guide them. So any inspiration that you have that reminds them that they are special and gifted and loved and on purpose, which is something that we all learn to do for ourselves, but you infuse that, then you're doing the best that you can do. You know, it's not like trying to control the whole thing, but it's like giving guidance, which is what it's all about. It's about guidance. So, yes, ma'am.
I would love to say that I have worked with those children for 14 years, and there are different techniques with all of those children that you can use, and knowledge in how to apply it is very important. And when you were saying grounded, what happened is you have to work with someone that know what degree and what level of energy is being infused from where. And then once you find that place, you're able, because they have things in them, and sometimes the chaos you see is because it's different levels of energy and they are trying to work it out.
Yeah, that's true.
So to have people, to try and find people with experience to teach you how to work with this, and there are pressure points in their bodies that you can work with that'll bring them back. And then they'll learn how to use that energy at a very high level. So that's one of the things that can happen with people that have children, because all children that are highly evolved, some of them are not, energetic. Some of them come from another place of sensitivity.
True.
So once you teach them how to work with their bodies, they're able to realize, oh, this is what's happening to
Yeah,
me.
thank you.
And it won't frighten them.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we all really are learning a lot from these incredible beings. We really are learning a lot. Now, I know there's still more hands up, but here's what I want to do. I am watching my time because I am determined that I'm going to honor the next speaker and be on time. But I want to do a meditation. It's not going to be a long meditation, but it really feels significant. I've been feeling this one. So let's just, with everything that's just been said and opened up and stirred up and everything, bring your awareness uncross your legs if you don't mind. So your feet are on the ground, on the floor, connecting to the earth. Just make yourself relax, close your eyes, begin to breathe. Take some nice deep breaths. Really allow the breath to help you release and let go anything that you no longer need to carry. And allow yourself to just focus now on your heart center, your heart chakra. Allowing that heart space to open, to expand. Feeling the energy of your breath and the energy coming in from the cosmos, moving through your body. Breathing in, breathing out. Allowing the light that's in your heart to expand, to grow. See that light within your heart moving from all the way through your body like a pillar, moving in both directions to your feet, below your feet, up to your crown, above the crown. You are a pillar of light. Breathe that in. And as this pillar of light, allow yourself to open to the guides, the angels, the ascended masters, your departed loved ones, whomever is here for you specifically to give you a gift. This gift may be a sound, it may be a vision, it may be words, it may be a sensation. But allow yourself to receive a very special gift. And allow this gift to activate within you. This gift is yours. It belongs to you. It is filled with love. And as you embrace this gift, know that your guides, your angels, God Goddess, is saying to you that you are the gift. You are the gift to spirit, and you are the gift to earth. Allow yourself to embrace this. This is your truth. This is your light. Breathe this in. And allow yourself to bring your attention back to your heart center. Bring your attention to your feet and to the grounding energies of the earth. Breathing in, breathing out. Know that the gift that you have been given and the gift that you are continues beyond this point. Breathing in and breathing out. And when you're ready, bring yourself back to this room, to this awareness. Open your eyes. Transmission energy here. Carry your gift with you today. Let the world see it. Let the world acknowledge it. The gift of being a smile or a hug or just the energy that you carry. And know that you are special and you are loved beyond measure. You are the gift to the world. You are here on purpose, and you are a bright light, and you are loved. So it's okay to own it because you deserve it. And my final words are the words of the great Jedi Master Yoda. May the Force be with you.